Hello guys, so welcome back to the channel and welcome to Excel Island. So sorry for the long break in over a month, and this is my actual first live stream, actually streaming to two different platforms at a time. So I'm testing a lot of waters right now. If you are seeing me doing something else, I'm just trying to make sure I am getting this correctly. So welcome back to the Python learning journey. My name is Abatan Sheriffdeen, as you already know, and welcome back to the channel. So we are on our Python challenge on the DataCamp platform, which is 100 days of learning Python. So I've covered a couple of challenges like this before, like the Power BI. The first one we actually did was the SQL challenge, which went for probably 99 days. I think that got to 100 days there. SQL challenge, we learned and did a lot of projects in SQL for a 100-day period. You can catch all of that on the YouTube channel. I also did Power BI challenge also that lasted for 69 or 70 days of learning. We were able to complete the Power BI learning journey in 69 days. So if you're looking to learn all about Power BI or SQL, that's a good start for you to work with that. Within 100 days of learning, you could actually complete the SQL or database learning journey, which is actually learning all about SQL and building some project also. So I also did for Power BI also. I've actually started the Python challenge over a couple of months ago. I just have to take some quick break, and right now I am back here. So let me just take a quick peep to make sure I'm actually live streaming to the actual platform I'm supposed to be live streaming to. So bear with me. Oh, great. The live stream is up on YouTube. So if you want to watch this live from YouTube, you can actually go and catch me on YouTube. Let me just check Facebook also. It is the same thing. It is up on Facebook. So without further ado, let's jump back to the learning. So today is day 29. We have a 100-day challenge to actually complete this Python learning archive on the DataCamp platform. So we're actually using the DataCamp platform for this learning journey. If I go to the career track section real quick, so you could see here. So I've done associate data analysis in SQL. I said that earlier. That's when we learned all about SQL for a period of 100 days. And I did data analysis in Power BI also. That lasted for 69, 70 days. I have all of that on my YouTube channel. So on this, we actually started data analysis in Python, and we've covered some basic Python knowledge. So we did introduction to Python, how we covered Python basics, Python lists, function and packages, and NumPy. We did intermediate Python, and we did our first project, which is investigating the Netflix movie database for a certain period of years. We didn't actually investigate the current Netflix movie database, but it was past Netflix or movie database. Then we moved to data manipulation with pandas, and we are on our next project, which is exploring NYC public school test results in Python. So we're going to be using summary statistics and data manipulation to actually analyze the data set. So we're going to be using data manipulation and summary statistics to analyze test scores across New York City's public school. So the project description reads that every year school test results impact the college admissions fates of millions of students. So in this project, you will use standardized test performance data from the NYC public schools to identify the schools with top math results. Look at how performance varies by borough. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And find the city's top 10 performing schools. So let me just show you what the database looks like. Let's start project first. So this is the simple data we are supposed to be working with. This is the CSV file you can see. Schools data. We have the school name, the borough, that's probably the area, the location of the schools, the building code, the code for each building, the average math score for that school, the average reading score for that particular school, the average writing score for that school, and the percent tested. So we just have like 5 columns there, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, 7 columns rather. So we are going to be connecting to this CSV file in Python. In Jupyter Notebook, I have my Anaconda Navigator installed. So if you want to learn how to install Anaconda Navigator to have access to Python environments, you definitely want to watch the first day Python learning journey day one on my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search Excel Island on YouTube. You're going to pick that up on YouTube. So I have it installed already and I've launched my Jupyter Notebook. It is launched already. So we just get to the lesson. So, so which NYC schools have the best math results? So let's look at the guide to complete this project. So how to approach this project. So I'm going to be doing the project on the DataCamp interface like this. And I'm going to be launching a Jupyter Notebook file. So also do it on my local computer so you can see the different. They are basically the same environment, but just different interface. So we have three questions to answer here. So okay, let's look at how to approach this project rather. So finding schools with the best math scores. That's the first question we need to answer. Then we need to identify the top 10 performing schools. I'm going to locate the NYC location of borough with the largest standard deviation in SAT performance, which is standard deviation. And mind you, this is a guided project. So all these questions, I just have to provide answers to them. And that is what is called a guided project. If I'm to analyze the data from scratch myself to come up with this question, I have to understand each record in the data frame or the data set and come up with my own questions. But as it is, we are still using guided project. No, we're actually trying to learn Python. We don't know all about Python, so it's best we work with guided project for now. So we have three questions to answer. So the first here, so let's read the description again. So every year, American high school students take SATs, which is the standard assessment, whatever, which are standardized tests intended to measure literacy or numeracy and writing skills. So there are three sections: reading, maths, and writing. I think we can see that here. Yeah, reading, maths, and writing. These are the three tests these students take. Reading, maths, and writing, each with a maximum score of 800 points. So for each section, the maximum point is 800. So these tests are extremely important for students and colleges, and they play a pivotal role in the admission process. So analyzing the performance of schools is important for a variety of stakeholders, including policy and education professionals, researchers, government, and even parents considering which school their children should attend. So you have been provided with a data set called schools.csv. We have already downloaded the data set already in previewed below. So you have been tasked with answering three key questions about New York City public school SAT performance. So we have to answer three key questions about New York City public school SAT performance. So that's what we'll be doing in this live stream. So I'm just going to run the first, we're just importing pandas as PD. So before I start, let me just launch my own book here also. So I'll just create my own data Python environment here. I'll just quickly go to my OneDrive, Python for data analysis. Quick. So on this challenge, let me go to data sets. So I have the data sets here. So I'm going to connect to these data sets and answer the three key questions here also. Here I'll be answering it in this environment and I'll be answering it in my own environment also. So I'm going to create a new Python notebook, Jupyter notebook. So there it is. Okay, select. I'll rename it real quick. I'm going to call it exploring. Uh, what should we name it? Exploring NYC, New York City public school public school test results. So the first thing I'm going to do normally is to connect to my libraries in Python. So that is what you use to work in Python. Simply that was done here. I'll just copy this code. Let me just copy this code really quick, just to make it easier for me. The first one is to import, this is called import libraries. So if you don't understand what all this little code is doing, so you can go and watch the first few days of the live stream on Python to understand what these little codes are doing. Okay. Since I have this my CSV file in the same environment that I've actually created this Jupyter notebook, I just connect to this schools.csv like this. So it's going to pad.read underscore CSV. Let me just cut this out. If I should run this code, I should not get any error. Yes, I didn't get any error. So I'm going to preview the data. So I want to preview this Excel file in Python, in a Python environment. So I'm just going to say schools.head. Can you see it now? So if you look at it, we have the school name, the borough, the building code, average marks, same thing we have here in this Excel file that you're looking at here. So that's how easy to just connect to a CSV file. So there are different ways to connect to different data type or data files in Python. So connecting to CSV file is pretty straightforward in this case. I'm just going to minimize this. So we have access to our data set now. We can do all sorts of things to this data set. So preview the data, and I can just decide to show, I can even decide to show the whole data set. You can also do description. You can also describe the data. School, you can say schools dot describe. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting an error. Oh, I've made a mistake in my spelling. You can see. So I have to be pretty careful when referencing these schools data frame back. Well, you can see it is describing each record there, each column, but we don't need that. I'll just get rid of that. So now let's work with what we have here. So the first question says find schools with the best math score. So I'm going to write this code here in this environment first and just copy and paste it. Consider we have same results here, the first few rows of the data set, same thing that we have here. So the first question says, we have an int here. I'll try to avoid looking at the int first and try to answer the question to the best of with my Python knowledge. So subset the data to find the schools with math scores of at least 80%, considering the maximum possible score is under 800%. So we read that the highest score, the maximum score for each either writing, reading, or maths is 800 points. So we want to look at those that get, so to that means to qualify or to pass the test, you have to get 80% out of 800. So that means 80% is almost 600, above 600. So we need to look at students or math scores that are at least 80% and above. Get it now? Probably that is probably 600 and above. So if you minus 80% of 800, that is 600 above. So 20% is 70, then 800. So you get that, just little calculation there, real quick there. So to do that, I'm just going to start coming up with a line of code. So we need to filter the data first, subset the data to find the schools with math score of at least 80. So we need to filter. Oh, no. Okay. So find schools with the best math score. So first we need to filter, since we had subset there, so we need to filter for schools where the average where the average math score, filter for schools where the average maths score is at least, so 80% of 800, 600 and above. Yes, 600. So if I'm to calculate 80% of 800, that's 600. Let me just pop it as 600 and above. So 800. Everything 600 plus, well, let's say 640. Let's say if above 800, that is 80% of 800 is 640. So it says, save this as a pandas data frame called bets mass schools. So best mass rather, best math schools is equal to schools. So I need to go back and reference the school data frame. This school data frame, schools. So I'm going to subset. I want to subset. So I'm going to use the double, the square bracket there. So what we're looking for the average mass score. I want to calculate the average. Average maths. Going to have this calculation in quotes. So the average maths have to be less than or equal to the 80%, which is the least. 80%, that is 640. Let me see. I'm missing a bracket here. Schools. So my bracket has to be. Hold on. So if I run this code, let's see what we have. I shouldn't get any error. Ooh, it's saying schools. Name schools is not defined. So I'm missing the spelling SCHOL. It's supposed to be school, not schools. How do we name it? Okay, we name it schools. Okay. Let's run the code again. Let me get help and fix it. Oh, no, I'm not asking for this type of help. So let me see my mistake there. So it's good we're getting into an error earlier. Filter for schools where the average math score, where the average math score is at least 640. So bet math school is going to be schools. So name schools is not defined. Oh, it's not seeing my school results. Okay, let's see. Okay. Maybe I'm missing the spelling here. Let me, I'll just copy this line of code here. Schools. Okay. We have schools there. Now let's run the code again. Voila. So I have to be pretty careful there. So we filter for the best math score, which is the average math score, this column, average math score, this column, for we want to look at only schools that have our test results for the maths equals to or above 640. That will be filtered. Then we need to return select subset define schools. We need to return only the school name and their test score. So let's write another line of code. I'm just going to copy this line of code here. I'll paste it in my Jupyter notebook so we won't get same error. Let's see. That means it is correct. So we only want to select these two columns, the school and the math score. So want to return a result. Return only the school name and the math score, the school name and the average math score. So the next line of code should be, I'm going to refer back to the best math school. Best math school. Okay, it's going to be equal to best math school. I'm going to point to just the first two columns that we need, which is the school name and the average, the school name, which is this school name here. School underscore name, comma. Then the next one we need is the average maths. Average maths. So to return them easily, I have to wrap them in double quote also, square brackets. So we should have our result. Let's see. Okay. That means the line of code is correct. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to copy this line of code and let's run it in Jupyter Notebook. So it is correct. So we're only returning the school name and the average math score, where the average math score is above 640 and above, which is 80% of the 800, 80% of the overall score, the maximum score, which is 800. So to display the result, I have to use let's display the result. A Python. Okay, let's display the results for the math score. But let's sort the data frame by average math score. In this, let's sort it from the highest to the lowest. So let's sort the set. Uh, the instruction says save your results in panel data code, clinic school name, and average math score, sorted by average math score in descending order. So that's the first question. We need to sort it. Sort the results. Sort by average math score in descending order. In descending order. Okay, so that's you have to be best math score again. Best math score equals to best math scores dot sort value. Use the sort value function or the sort value method. So I want to sort by which column? So by average math score. So I have to average. I can just copy it from here. We need to sort by the average math score. So we have to sort it descending order. That is from the highest to the lowest. I'm going to add another line of code here. Say ascending. Ascending equals to false. False. So let's run this line of code and see. Voila. So, oh, we have an error. What was the error? Data frame object has no attribute sort value. So, oh, it's to be sort values. I didn't mention it very well. Sort values, not sort value. Voila. So let's run this kind of code. So we started this. So let's display our results, our final results. So display the filter. We want to display the results. Say save this in a panel data frame called best mask. We save it. So let's display the top, the best mask schools from the data frame. Okay, display the best. Let us say display the best mask schools. So if you use print, we could say print. We just say print best mask schools. That's one of the easiest ways to display that. Best mask schools. Let's see. You can see. Just print it for us. Print it out like that. It's as simple as that. We just say print here also. Voila, where we can see print best mask school. So the best school is this Stuyvesant High School, followed by Bonnis High School of Science, and so on. So to do that in Excel, it's pretty straightforward. You'll be shocked. All I just have to do is just filter this average math school from highest to lowest. But in Python, it kind of gets funny at times. Just have to write this line of code. So I could also use this method to display the results from IPython. I could just say from IPython dot display import display. That's another way to also show the same results. So I'll just say display best best math school. Ooh, got up BST. Okay, schools. Sorry, it's best math schools. Well, I can see. So it's going to display it in a tabular method like this. I think this is quite fair. There's also a way I could do that in Anaconda Navigator here. I can actually remember that right now. So let's move ahead. I think we've answered the first question correctly. Let's move to the second question. Oh, that's a quick one. I need to plug my gadgets. My laptop is low. You can see it's just less percentage there. I'll just stand up real quick. I don't even need to stand up. Let me see. Okay, so I'm back. I think we've answered the first question correctly. Let's move to the next number two question. So let's move to number two question real quick. I think this is now it's quite long a little bit. So the second question says identify the top 10 performing schools. The top 10 performing schools. So identify the top 10 performing schools. So find the 10 best performing schools based on the total scores across the three SAT sections. So based on the total scores. So looking at that, I mean we need to add the average math score, the average reading score, and the average writing score. we create a new column called total scores. You can actually do that in Excel. It's quite easier, but we are working in a Python environment, so let's do. So create a new column. We're going to create a new column called total scores. So the next question says, question number 2. So this is question number 1. So question number 2 now says, so identify the top 10 performing school based on the total scores. And we want to sum the total scores, the total 3 scores out. Find the 10 best performing schools based on the total scores across the 3 SAT sections. So total score, we also have a total score. Create a new column, total score column. So that is going to be create a new column. Create a new column called total score. So how do you add a new column to a data frame in Python? So I'm going to say schools. So open brackets. So my new column is going to be called total scores, right? Total score. So it's going to be addition of the average math score, the average writing, and the average reading scores. Going to be brackets. So I'm going to refer to schools again. Schools. So picking up on the average reading score, I'm going to copy this real quick. So average maths. Is going to be average maths plus schools from brackets